Yo, we are in the building. Primo Beats is here.
What's the deal, my boy?
Not much, man. Primo, first of all, bro, new hairdos every month.
Yep.
This happens to be my favorite.
Thank you.
It's not all one color. It's like a little bit of. How do you like tell them what you want? How do you tell them what's going on?
With the hair, I do it myself.
You do this yourself?
Yeah, except for the cutting. I've been doing it myself since I was a teenager. Because we didn't have money to like pay for a salon or whatever, so I just go impulsively. I get some bleach, whatever color I happen to want, and I'll just do it at the crib.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So how do you know what colors you want?
I don't.
You just go around. And
Yeah,
fuck around real quick?
this shit. It's funny. I was talking to Mike at the studio maybe 3 weeks ago. Like, I'm cutting my mohawk off. I'm gonna let my hair grow out. And then I ended up doing this. First thing he says to me, "Oh, you're letting your hair grow out, huh? Letting that natural hair come out, huh?" I'm like, I'm very impulsive with the hair, I suppose.
No, it's legendary. I like it, bro.
Thank you.
The only problem with it is like if I took a picture with you 2 months ago, I can't post it because it's like, damn, you changed his hair. People are gonna know this isn't fucking recent. Then I feel like people, what are you doing posting old pictures for, man? It makes no fucking sense.
Some people just don't got shit going on, my boy. You might need that old picture once in a great while.
Social media is crazy, bro. Because even Jug Harden was talking about how you can't wear the same things twice. So even today when I was getting ready, I was like, I already wore everything except for this, bro.
Yeah.
I literally wore everything in my fucking whole wardrobe besides this fucking thing.
It's a nice shirt.
Thank you, man. But yeah, it's like crazy. It's like you got to pay attention to what you're fucking wearing, bro.
I mean, you do and you don't. I understand it from like a rapper's perspective. You have a certain image to uphold and stuff. But guys like you and I, we're not the rapper. We're utility players. Like this hoodie, these pants, these Tims. I've had these Tims for like 3 years. I've worn all this shit a million times.
Hold on. I would say we're not technically utility because we still have we're pretty popular in our own niche. Or in our own like category, right? Like you're a popular ass producer because you put your face on it. I'm chilling. I'm doing my thing. I got my face on it. I think like if you don't put your face on it, that's when you're utility more so, right? Because there's like kind of a difference between a rock star-ish producer versus like maybe an Energy Beats, like where he's so low key. Like if you've seen him in public, you might not know that's him because he doesn't really post pictures and shit like that or like go out like that.
No, I'd agree with that. And Energy in particular, he's super chill. Like the couple times I've been around him, he's a super calm dude. Like his personality, from what I've seen, is like the opposite of the beats that he makes. You know what I'm saying? These big, violent sounding, scary, super energetic beats, and then you meet him, he's just like this chill fucking cool ass dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
How do you guys like communicate with this younger producers and stuff like that that obviously like look up to you and want to network with you? How do you guys get the ball rolling with a producer camp where everybody just comes in and makes beats together?
Well, I mean, for me, I was kind of just like filling a void like before the pandemic hit, and I don't remember the exact time frame, but you might even recall Helva was doing producer camps, and I had DM'd him like, you know, how much is a slot? I'd like to buy a slot. And if I remember right, he had just invited me, said, man, just pull up and just be a part of it, come fuck with us. And I was all about it. And then COVID hit and everything went away. So cut to a year and a half, whatever it was later, I wanted to do a producer camp. So I'm just like, fuck it. And I just put it out there on my socials. Like, I'm doing a producer camp, slots are X amount of dollars, come cook up, network, this sort of thing. And then I ended up doing one pretty much every month. I did like 14 or 15 damn near in a row, except for the time when I was transitioning from the hip hop lab to Get Fresh. So I can't really explain it. I just put it out there and people came. And so I had some repeat people, I had some new people at every session, but they were just so much fun, just monumental. Everybody's learning and teaching each other and from each other, making new connections, and it was just some kind of special that I wanted to really bring to the community. And I think you know, Danny wanted the same thing. He kind of followed suit, and his shit ran pretty much the same as mine, and it was a great success. It was a lot of fun while it lasted.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes people need to realize these opportunities to be able to work with people who've already accomplished so much in the industry, and to really just pick their brain and figure out how the hell they got where they're at. And even just hearing the sounds that you guys, I know I was talking to Danny, he was like, I learned from that. You said that too. You're like, I learned from them too. It's not just like when they do the producer camps, they're not everybody's just learning from you. You're learning from everybody pretty much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, when it comes to a certain level of success, as talented as some producers are, they just never achieved like the credentials or anything like that. That even if they have the talent, it's like you haven't gotten to a point where it's kind of mattered yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like at a success level, making actual money or actually getting credits or placements and things that like are or like you can put out there and be respected for, which is like all comes in time. But to be around the people that have done it is like incredible. That's why those camps are so fucking important, bro. I think it would be cool if everybody in every category of music did their own type of camp to some type of degree.
Well, yeah, it's about the community. And you said something that was actually really poignant the aspect of talent. And I say it like this, like talent's important. You got to be talented as a creator, as a musician, but talent's only a small part of the equation. Like think about it. How many people do you know that rap really, really well? They're super talented, better than industry artists and all these kind of things people say, yet they never go anywhere with it. Talent only takes you so far. It's the people skills, it's the business acumen, it's the networking skills. Talent's like 5% of the equation. You can be fucking not that good and be highly successful in the music business if you got all your ducks in a row. You know what I mean? Think about guys like, Lil Pump, for instance. I'm not trying to trash the guy's music, but I think he's a terrible fucking rapper and artist in general. But the music's a vibe. It's catchy. People like it. He had his wave. And there's people like that come and go every year, and it's not off of talent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a whole piece of the pie, like a whole part of the pie. Like talent is one piece of the pie, obviously, and a lot of artists. I mean, inconsistency factor is one huge thing. Knowing how to market yourself is one huge thing.
Yep.
Knowing who to network with and where to be and when to be there, and just putting yourself everywhere is part of it too. There's just like you said, there's so much that goes along with being a successful anything in the music industry and the entertainment industry. So many things go. Imagine how much. You see those guys that have like 3 posts on their Instagram and it's like, this is fucking legendary, but they have nothing out, nothing on Apple Music, nothing on YouTube, nothing nowhere, but they're so fucking talented. You're just like, what's going on here, man? Like what's happening?
Well, a lot of times guys like that, from what I've seen, they get bitter and they get really butthurt at the fact that they're not as, like, they'll see a Sada Baby, an Ice Revezo, a fucking Peasy going crazy, like, well, I'm just as good, if not better. Why not me? Why not me? And they have this crybaby fucking attitude about why not me? Well, you're not doing what they did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to say that talent isn't a big part of the equation for those 3 artists in particular, because they're all incredibly talented. I'm a fan of all of them, but the fact is they got a lot more going on than just being talented that's allowed their business to flourish like it did. And again, in the trail of that, there's a million rappers, wannabe rappers, crying about the fact that they are not that person. But it's like, what have you done to make yourself that person?
That's a thing too. And I feel like, let's just say you do come out with you start off and you come off hot. You just come out with your few first songs. You're just hot. You know what the fuck you're doing. But again, if you're not doing everything else, it kind of doesn't really matter. And I think you're right. People get hurt because they go, I'm so hard. I'm already proving how hard I am. My thing is like, wait, like everything is the grind until the point where you get that real exposure. I look at myself like that. What I look at myself is like, okay, I'm doing the hard work, and my time will come when the time comes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, my time will come when the time comes. I'm not going to get hurt because I did a interview with somebody or I showed up at something and it was legendary, but it didn't blow me. Even if Cash Doll came on right now. Let's say Cash Doll came and did an interview with me and nothing happened after, like it was still the same routine. Okay, that wasn't the moment. But eventually I'll get to the moment where my name will get big enough, and when it does get big enough, I've built the skill to be ready for that moment.
Yeah.
So right now I feel like I'm just building my skill and honing the craft until the point where something really big happens, and then when I have my own lane, like completely my own lane, I'll know how to fucking manage it. A lot of people, and I always call it, bro, when they blow up too fast, they're not fucking ready for it.
Yeah.
They blow up overnight, they're not fucking ready for it, and then they just decline like here and there and here. There's an artist that I'm not going to say his name, but everybody, he blew up, he had his moment, and then there's no longevity though, because he blew up too quick. He didn't build the skill set to be able to keep going. So now he's doing all this other side kind of bullshit to kind of get through, but that's going to decline to an end.
Yeah.
It's just like you're building the skill right now, so don't worry about blowing up. This is build mode.
Yeah. And I mean, the way I've heard it described is like, people don't give a fuck about what you got going on until you give them a reason to. Mm-hmm. And it can't be an overinflated ego and sense of self. I deserve this because I feel like I deserve this. That's not the way shit works. That's living outside of reality.
Now, the artist, so you were working with obviously major artists in the hip hop lab.
Yeah.
And now, how is that opportunity? Do you feel like it's still relevant at Get Fresh as far as working with the artists at that caliber and everything like that? Or do you feel like it was more going on at the hip hop lab as far as like the caliber of artists and stuff like that?
No, I mean, that was never really a thought to me, just because it's like certain people will go to certain studios for what it is. Like the hip hop lab, for instance, people know Babytron records there. They might be attracted to go there. The same can be said about a lot of different studios, but for me in particular, I never really thought about it. And everyone that I worked with, I'm still working with them.
Oh, really?
You know what I mean? Even if it's in a different capacity, maybe they're not comfortable going to the new studio for whatever reason, I still have the relationship in place where it's like, hey, when's your next session? I got these beats for you. Types, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing has really changed in terms of that, except My location's a lot nicer. My equipment's a lot better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, that's interesting.
And I
man.
got a kitchen in the studio now. Let's not talk about the fact that having your own kitchen in a studio is such a fucking essential. No more DoorDash, no more pizza. I'm gonna go make some tortellini. Fuck is you talking about?
I see, man. You can cook. I didn't know until I started seeing some of your story posts that you can
Yes.
cook a little bit.
Yes.
You actually taught me to mix in a little bit of marinara with the noodles. You know,
When it's hot.
Yeah, when it's hot.
Because what
so-
happens is you put the sauce on your hot noodles, the pores on the pasta's open, it sucks the sauce up,
Yeah.
and it makes everything taste way better. Fuck yeah.
You were right about that, bro.
Yes.
You were legendary for that one.
Thank you.
But yeah,
And
you
you're
got the
welcome.
cook. You guys got the fucking kitchen. Obviously, a lot of my friends go there, man. A lot of people have relationships at that studio. That's gonna just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, we
obviously.
got some killer engineers. Like, I feel like the low guy on the totem pole. If I'm being totally honest, when you talk about Chris, when you talk about Mike, you talk about Ethan, even talking about Danny and the other guys up there, like extremely talented engineers, dedicated, talented engineers. You know what I mean? So it's great company.
What's some things that when you look at you came from Ypsilanti to come down here to work, right?
Yes.
So obviously, when you quit your job, it was for the hip hop lab.
Mm-hmm.
Lando hit you up, said, "I want you to come work at the hip hop lab." You knew it was a grand opportunity.
Yes.
And that obviously gave you a lot of momentum because you're working with rock stars and you're proving yourself. You're a rock star. You're killing it. Everybody's recognizing you and stuff like that. Do you feel like it's an elevation as far as exposure is concerned, or do you feel like your exposure has become a little bit more limited because of the transition and because of the confusion with people not knowing what's going on exactly and what's happening?
I mean, in terms of exposure, like, I would put that in line with like how I view my social media almost. And just based upon what's been going on in my life in the last couple of months, I've really backed off of that a lot. Like, I'm not as social media present. I'm not posting every day. I'm not on my story all the time. I've really taken a back seat to that to prioritize other things in my life. So that's not, it's a passing thought in my mind.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because, like, I was talking to someone about this a couple weeks back, and they asked me something similar. And my whole thing is like, a studio doesn't make or break me. The Hip Hop Lab, Get Fresh Studios, Parallel Studio, a studio does not make or break me. I'm Primo Beats anywhere I go, and I take the skills and the equipment with me. You know what I mean? So I never really thought about it in terms of that. It doesn't really make a difference to me.
Cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I respect that. Yeah. And as far as beats right now, obviously you're heavy with the beats still, obviously. What do you see like is your most client? Where's your client base going more towards? Is it more so the sound recording, or is it more towards the beats right now?
Oh, it's always been the beats. It's
Okay.
100% always been the beats. Just because I'm very selective about who I work with in the studio. Anybody can buy a beat, but respectfully, not everybody can get in the studio with me. And I have my own set of criteria and, things that I'll do, but the bulk of my income comes from selling beats, not from doing studio time. I started engineering because it was a means to get placements, not because I want to record everybody. You know what I mean? I wanted to be in that session with Rio. I wanted to be in that session with Vezo. I wanted to be in that session with Babytron, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Not I want to spend 8 hours recording guys on YouTube beats.
Yeah.
And not to talk down, there's nothing wrong with it. There's appropriate uses for YouTube instrumentals, and I applaud that, and I'm here for it, but I don't want to be doing that 24/7.
We had a guest on here, and he was talking about how NBA 2K22, he was supposed to be placed on there, right? And so he was a rapper, and he called the producer, and he's like, "Yo, we got rights to 2K22. Like, they want us." And then the producer was like, "Nah, I don't care. I don't want to do it."
That's a huge fucking placement. That's a sync. Do you know how much sync placements actually pay?
How much?
On average, like $15,000 at a minimum. On top of the royalties.
But think about everybody hearing it too, though. Like,
Yeah.
everybody's hearing your beat. Everybody's hearing the song. I'm just thinking from a producer's perspective.
that producer's smoking crack.
What could make you not do it, even if you know the opportunity is big, though? That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'd have a red hot boner to get my shit on any video game. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's so
Are you
weird.
fucking kidding me? Who do I gotta fuck to get my music in a video game, dog?
Speaking about fucking,
Whoa.
we have to talk about the elephant in the room here, dude.
Is it how we're sitting?
No.
This is actually not bad, dog. I'm not gonna hold you up.
Listen, man, I know, this whole thing with your grandma. I wanted to address it here on air because I think a lot of people, they have this idea that you have like a serious beef going on. And we did, and we kind of do, but how do you feel about me in the situation, dude?
that camera's on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be professional and polite and say that, you know, things happen. I'd be lying if I said I didn't fuck one of my friends' moms once in a while. Sometimes you're caught up in the moment. It happens. We could put it behind us.
Right.
As long as you're not behind my grandma.
Now, I noticed a lot of people, they took, you know, they sided with you and they said that that's not cool and shit. So I'm not going to apologize, dude. But at the same time, I just do want to say that, like, you deserve that, bro.
Why? What did I do?
You know what you did, bro. And you know why I
You're
made
just
that.
mad I met Cash Doll. You're literally mad I met her
listen,
before
bro,
you did.
you could have.
She fine as hell in person, too. I ain't gonna hold you up.
You could have called me.
I can't call you. That's
Hey,
client confidentiality.
Hey,
I can't
bro,
call you.
I know, you know that one girl that you've been in love with for the past 5 years and been like posting about and all that stuff, and we've been boys for this long. I'm not gonna let you know she pulled up. What is that? How are you my friend?
I have to be a professional first and foremost. There's client confidentiality. I can't let you know every time I got a big fucking client in the studio. It wasn't even my session. I was just there to hang out and meet Cash Doll in person.
Yeah, man. All
Yeah,
right.
it was pretty. It wasn't bad.
We'll just continue the rest of this conversation. And
She's
anyway,
really cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess just tell me because I kind of want to know.
She was cool as hell. She's a whole vibe. I heard a bunch of unreleased music.
Did she talk about me?
Huh?
Did she talk about me?
No.
She didn't say one fucking word.
No.
You didn't say anything about me.
No.
Mike didn't say nothing about me?
I think Mike might have alluded to it, but he had already had a couple, so it was kind of
All
like
right, whatever.
they were all drinking champagne and shit, so it was like glanced over.
Well, so you got songs with her coming out?
No, I mean I got her phone number.
What the fuck, dude?
I got her email address. I sent her some beats, and I texted her, hey, you know, just following up. I sent you some beats. But I haven't gotten a response. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? But
I mean, that's how it works. So you just flood
Yeah.
the market. I mean, flood the beats, and then
yeah, but I don't like annoying artists. That's the biggest thing. Whenever I make a connection with a big artist, whether or not it's someone that you've wanted to fuck for the longest or not, I'm not going to harass them just because I sent them beats. When the time is right, things happen.
All right. What's been besides that? Obviously, what's been like the most things that you look like? What's the things that you look at right now at Get Fresh and say this is like my most proudest moment so far at Get Fresh Studios?
Just the studio 2 that I work out of, just because I was there with Mike every day pretty much. Danny was there helping too, but I was there every day helping him build it. So it's like I have my hands on every single inch of that studio.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I do my best to take care of it, be it cleaning the kitchen, sweeping and mopping, cleaning the toilets. Like I'm very connected to the whole room. So that's really the biggest part for me is like I feel like at the Hip Hop Lab, it was dope. I went there and it was already there, but at Get Fresh, I helped build it.
Yeah.
You know, and they asked me, what color do you want the wall? What kind of rug do you want? You know, all these options that were being left up to me to personalize it. And that's the biggest thing for me is like, I feel like it's home because I literally helped build it.
That's legendary, dude.
Yeah. Shout out Mike, man. Mike's a great guy.
We need a timeout? Oh, okay. I guess we can hop back into that. Fuck it. I mean, I'll talk about it. One thing, yeah. I mean, RJ Lamont.
Shout out my boy RJ.
I love RJ, man. RJ opened up so many doors for me, and without us even trying, like we were just chilling. Like I fuck with you, bro. I was working.
He's cool. I mean, I've seen him stand. I've never seen him trip. I've never seen the man trip once.
But a lot of people think he's tripping about saying that he created the Detroit music scene.
Oh.
And I think that I think when he said it, he's talking about relatively this era, and I also think he's saying relatively with a few people in mind, but at the same time, he was one of the forefronts of how the sound got into Detroit. I mean, because if you listen to what he's saying, he's pretty much saying nobody else was playing Detroit music in all the clubs. He was taking all the sounds to every freaking club he went to and just playing it. And he was saying that other DJs were shunning him and saying like, you shouldn't be doing that. And he just kept doing it.
Yeah.
And he got a lot of feedback from even his own cousin Tone, who said like, I got to go see what drugs he's on. And then right now we just had Herc tap in and said, you just got to laugh at some stuff.
What, Big Herc?
Yeah. And then you got Al Nuke just saying this is cap. So you just wonder, like, I mean, I'm going to get him back on here again, but what's your history on that? I mean,
like, I got to really be honest. Like, I'm kind of like an outsider looking in just because I've only really been that relevant in Detroit for like 4 years, maybe 5. And he's been very present in the scene for a very long time. I remember as far back as like 10 years ago, it was like him and Helliva and Ant Beats were the guys and Dame Dot were the guys I really seen like like getting, you know, the movement going and being a big part of the music scene and all that. So I would say, like, I can't give you like an authoritative answer, yes or no, but RJ was definitely a pioneer.
Yeah.
You know, he definitely brought a lot of people to the forefront. He's definitely got a lot of big hit records out there. He does a lot for the scene, but to say that he created it, I can't say yes or no, but I will say again, I feel like he's a pioneer. He's someone that I look up to, and I don't know, but sometimes, you know, people just be saying shit just to get some attention, and fuck, he's good at that, man. He'll get you paying attention.
Bro, we were chilling, and he's like, he was on the couch. He's like, I was like, how many streams do you think you got? He was like, I think like 100 million. I was like, RJ, you stupid. You have probably anywhere from 500 million to 800 million streams collectively minimum.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you saying, bro? Like, do you ever look at how much you've done, accomplished, or is it too hard to track how much you think people streamed your music or your beats?
I mean, nowadays it's easy. I just, you know, I have some agencies that I work with that help me collect my publishing and all that, and they have access to the numbers. I see the numbers. Like, I know I'm clocking in this year with just under 20 million paid streams. I own anywhere from between 5% to 50% of those records, so it's kind of all over the place in terms of payouts.
And that's
but
just this year, 20 million?
yeah.
So what is it? So you wouldn't know, like, from 4 years ago till now, like, maybe how many you've done?
I don't know. I've never really looked into it, to be honest with you. I could talk to my people, and maybe I have that opportunity, but I never really looked at it like that. It was always just like, what's next, without focusing too much on the numbers. As long as I'm making money.
It has to be over 100 million, though, right? Because even you have a riff raff placement, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, that song didn't do shit. The Peach Panther freestyle, that song didn't do shit. I was stoked to work with Riff Raff. Don't get me wrong, but no, that song didn't do shit. I made a good amount of money on it, but no, I wouldn't say it. It definitely didn't do tens of millions, but it definitely did millions in streams and like less than 1 million on YouTube for like the official music video.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's so crazy because like if you look at video directors, you know, you can see like the Jerry PhDs and CTs and stuff. They're clocking in these millions, and they're part of the reason that these songs get out there and generate so money. But you don't really know on a producers on how many streams they're actually fucking getting.
Well, a lot of guys don't have representation.
Yeah,
a lot of guys don't understand that they deserve a chunk of the business and equity in these songs just from lack of education and lack of grooming. So they don't even have the virtue of having thoughts like that. So they're just like, I got a placement with such and such. Woo. And they don't think about everything that comes with that or making sure that legally they're protected and collecting their publishing.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
What's you know, you're around artists more than anybody else probably. Just I think producers are probably around rappers and artists more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Are there any new things you've been picking up? Is there anything new where you're paying attention to it and seeing how kind of the scene's moving forward, or maybe a new kind of approach to making music, or do you feel like things are kind of going the same as they always been?
That's a good question. It's kind of weird to answer just because like these last couple months I went through a big change in my life that you know about, and I'm seeing things a lot differently. I'm seeing more into the details and reading people more. And I wouldn't say things are changing, just my perception of them is changing. I see a little more deeply now. I have a little more clear understanding of how things move and people's intentions. Yeah. So that's kind of like my roundabout answer to that question is I really don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you, man. It's I'm getting my eye opener has been like, I gotta be careful how I say this, but basically, I feel like it's a big zoo to some degree as far as being an artist, entertainer, videographer, whatever the fuck you're doing. I feel like there's like a big zoo, right? And we're all like circulating it. You know, you're getting paid to be there. You're getting paid to perform and do whatever you want. But it's also always the same people. And I feel like 5 years ago, I'll look at a rapper and be like, in 2017, you're doing the same exact thing you're doing now, getting damn near the same engagement, or your patterns are exactly the same of how you're rotating your content or rotating what you're doing. So I'm looking at it from an outside perspective, like everybody's kind of just doing the same thing over and over again. It just looks like you're doing something different. Yeah. It just looks like things are really different, but you know what they say, the more things seem to change, the more they really stay the same. So that's how I'm looking at everything. So what I've been trying to do now is like break the fuck away from all that. Yeah. I want to be like, okay, I see what's going on here. I'm a part of it. I'm feeling I'm getting in that same circuit you guys are getting into, but I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm not saying I'm leaving the game. I'm saying I'm leaving that pattern of the game. Yeah. You go to shows, you see the same people at every show is getting booked to be at the same fucking shit. Man. You hear people like paying for features and doing this. It's like you're doing the same thing. And it's like I get everybody's trying to make their money, but that's like trap.
Well, a lot of people just don't have a game plan. You got to understand, like, especially in the music game, there's no rule book.
Yeah.
It's like I've said it a million times, and I'll say it again. Like, there's no black and white. It's all gray. It's entirely gray area. So a lot of guys don't know what to do. They get a little money in their pocket, and they're like, I'm going to pay for this fucking feature. I'm going to pay for this fucking Zaytoven beat. I'm going to spend all this money on all these things, expecting, you know, a result that's never really going to come from that. You know, like people, they lack focus on generating an organic fan base and having, you know, fuck having 1 million listeners, 1,000 people that like your music and will religiously consume it is more valuable to an artist than paying a major for a feature that's never going to do anything for you other than give you 16 bars or 12 bars.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, people really, regardless of their intention, their motives, and their actions, the biggest thing is garnering and building a fan base. And that's where people really need to fucking focus. I see so many people spinning their wheels and falling out of love with music because they get frustrated. Man, I spent $150,000 on this shit and nothing's happening for me. Well, like, think about it. You can, it's not something that you just necessarily throw money at and it's a success. Like, do you have people that listen to your music? No, not really, but I paid fucking yada yada for a feature, and I got the video from fucking Jerry and blah, blah, blah for no one to look at because no one's looking for it.
That's what Kiefer was talking about. He was like, when T Grizzly came out with First Day Out, that bitch was so successful. Everybody was like, that's the blueprint, right? So you get the beat from Helluva, you go shoot with BMVP, you know what I'm saying? You promote it on these markets, and then we'll blow up too. Or let's go to jail too, and then we'll get out, and then, you know, that shit will blow up. So, like, people didn't realize that's, like, not... It just doesn't work like that. There is no fucking blueprint that you can look at that somebody else did and be like, okay, I'm gonna use your exact same blueprint and be able to be successful at it.
Nope.
It's just not the way it works, unfortunately. I mean, it's not unfortunate. It's a good thing. I'm looking at Detroit now as my favorite thing in the world because of this. When it comes to Detroit entertainment, you can't get through unless you really got it. Detroit does not let you get through anything unless you really got it. If you don't have it, whatever it is, you do not get through. You got to stay consistent. You got to keep working. You got to have the talent. You got to have the abilities. You got to be a part of everything for you to get through. People literally try to buy their way through Detroit. You can't.
No.
It's just a collective thing. It's not like it's not like there's a judge in a courtroom of Detroit people just like, all right. It's literally just like
the market's the judge. They'll fucking shred you.
Yes, it's
shred
insane.
you.
It's insane. Man.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. But then there is a lot of people in the way though too. At the same time, there's a lot of people who are just fucking in the way, bro. Like. There's so many when people say people are in the way, what they mean is it's like some people know how to market themselves to make it seem like they can generate or do something for you. So you'll go spend your money over there, but literally you're not going to get any fucking results from it. Meanwhile, if you went to the guys who are reputable already, you would have seen an outcome. But there's so many fucking just for instance, podcasts.
Yeah.
People will repost other people's podcasts and they'll get zero engagement. Then they fucking work with my podcast. Then they see serious fucking engagement. Mm-hmm. But they went to all like the other guys first that don't generate shit, and then they learn like, okay, they might not come to me now because they already did everything over there. They already worked over there. Like, fuck podcasts. Podcasts don't do shit because all the in the way guys fucking find a way to like weasel their way in, and that's the only thing I don't like.
But the truth is, like, I say that so boldly. Like, the truth is, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. The idea that someone else is in your way is a fallacy.
How, bro?
Because the only thing that limits a person from success is themselves.
That's true.
There's no producers like me and Danny. Look at me and Danny. If Danny is winning, that's not preventing me from winning. You know what I mean? Just because, you know, Ruel and Helluva and Ampy, it's got platinum records, you know what I'm saying? Is that holding me back from getting one? Absolutely not. And I feel like people really need to adopt that attitude of there's no one gatekeeping you. There's really not. You're gatekeeping yourself.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Everything, you got to be a self-starter. But the idea that people are in the way, I don't subscribe to that notion. No one's in the way of me. No one's in the way of you. You're in the way of yourself if you feel that way.
I agree with you. Actually, that's a really good perspective. I'll take that.
Okay.
Good
posture, too.
Thank you. Talk about... Obviously, congratulations, bro. I know it's been 2 or 3 months since you've officially went fully sober.
Not fully full. I still smoke a little weed.
Oh, yeah. I mean alcohol.
Yeah, but
alcohol.
I'm coming up on 90 days, no alcohol, by the grace of God. It's a beautiful thing.
Congratulations, my
Thank
boy.
you.
That's legendary, man.
Yeah. Life's changing.
How is obviously walk people through the journey, man? Like, where did you figure out there was a problem?
Wow. I mean, it's like, if you weren't really, really close to me and I can count on one hand the people that are really close to me. You didn't really know the extent of my drinking. Like a lot of people, I feel like they would meet me and see the success I'm achieving and making the money and the big records, notoriety, social media, and they'd see me with a drink in my hand, some tequila, beer, like, that's normal. And a lot of times I would justify it to myself, like, well, I'm not beholden to a job. I make my own schedule. I can drink when I want. But the truth is, like, for the better part of like 12 years, like I've been a daily drinker, like upwards of 25, 30 drinks a day. So,
God damn.
Yeah, it's bad. It was really, really bad. Blacking out every night, causing. I remember actually an instance. This is embarrassing as fuck, but I'll be honest with you. We got into an argument on your live.
Yeah, we went nuts. I went nuts.
We were on live. I was so blacked out drunk. I thought we were FaceTiming. And then I looked up at the corner of the screen, like, there's 90 people on this FaceTime. Oh my God, I'm on Instagram Live with him right now.
Yeah.
And that was the tale of me every night, just blacked out drunk, getting angry at people, causing problems, feeling terrible the next day. And it was just, I've had a problem for a long time. I just didn't have it in me to really deal with it. But
Can you rewind to how far back you remember when you first started drinking?
I mean, I've been drinking my whole life. You know what I mean? Like, my parents were highly functioning alcoholics. You know, it did end up, my mom died of it. My dad just made his way into sobriety through the grace of God. But I've been drinking my whole life. I think, like, the moment where I knew it was like a problem, I was maybe 23, 24, late at night, and I would drink alcohol to sleep. I couldn't sleep unless I was blacked out drunk. Like, way beyond your normal drunk, like falling over, blacked out drunk. And I recall I was living with my girlfriend Jamie, and we would drink occasionally. I would drink every day. She would drink occasionally, but it was late at night and I wanted to sleep, so I'm like, I need some alcohol. I go to the fridge, there's no beer, but there was a fifth of vodka. So I poured a glass of vodka, 3/4 full, topped it off with water, and I slammed it.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, this ain't doing it. So I did it 2 more times, probably at least like 8, 9, 10 shots of vodka. And I just remember sitting there in bed like, this isn't normal. But I always put it to the back of my head like, whatever. It's part of it. You handle your business. You pay your bills. Life is good. But up to more recently, like, I developed this like just terrible routine ever since I moved to where I live, where I would walk to this bar that was by my house, right? Ye Old Saloon. It's a dive bar, shit all over the walls. It's dusty, cheap drinks. Love it. I was there every day. Bartenders knew my order, never had to order. I'd go there, I'd get fucking trashed. I'm drinking 6, 7 shots, 4 or 5 beers within like a 2-hour time span. Cash out my tab, go across the street, get a case of beer and a pint of something or a fifth of something, and go home and drink in solitude. And that's really where I recognized I got a problem, is I'm drinking by myself in solitude to the point where, like, I'm falling over, like, by myself at home. You know what I mean? So maybe like 4 or 5 months ago, and I've been feeling it for a long time, but like the universe like spoke to me through people. It was like I was talking to Danny one night, and I hope he's not mad. He won't be mad for me saying it, but Danny's been sober for a long time, and he's kind of guided me through it. And I asked him, I said, and I was drunk. I was like, "Why'd you stop drinking?" And he explained to me, it's like, it wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
And that made me look at myself like, why am I drinking so much? I'm not celebrating anything. I'm definitely not having fun. I feel like shit. And there was a time I spoke with Iceware Vezo, actually. I was at the bar, once again, it was right after I left the hip hop lab too, right after. So I'm already in the dumps, shit's fucked up. I'm just getting drunk as fuck every day, like starting at like 11 in the morning. I'm at the bar, drunk. Vezo calls me. And he's like, man, I'm just itching to record. Can I get a session? And I explained to him, like, I don't really have a studio to work at right now. I'm not exactly in a great place. And, you know, I don't know if he remembers this, but he had a talk with me, one of those talks that, like, stuck with me. And he's like, bro, he's like, no matter what you got going on, you just got to ask God what you got to do. You got to give it to God and just see what you need to do to get your life right. And it was so impactful that, like, literally, I started praying again. I started going back to church again. I started getting back in touch with my spiritual side. And I just had a moment like, I need to, you know, with God's help, I need to get into a program. I need to get myself sober. So I started going to AA. Yeah. And I didn't do the rehab thing. And if I'm going to talk about this, I got to be really honest. My sponsor in AA has me prefacing my sobriety story with, don't do it the way that I did it. It's against medical advice. I didn't detox. I didn't go to rehab. I stepped down my alcohol consumption because I don't know if you know this, but alcohol and heroin are the only 2 drugs that the withdrawals can literally kill you. Send you in what's called delirium tremens, which is not something I knew about. I wanted to go cold turkey, but you know, friends and people in my family who are in the medical profession are like, you might die if you do that. So I literally after the talk with everyone, after the talk with Vezo, after getting to praying and really committing to getting sober, day by day, I was just stepping down the amount of alcohol I was drinking to where I was drinking just 1 or 2 because I was terrified of withdrawals. And then one day I just said, that's it. And it was Tuesday, September 20th was the first day that I went 24 hours since I have been an adult.
Yeah.
In the last 15 years without any alcohol.
Yeah, man.
And I've been stuck there ever since.
Nah, man, it's seriously like so fucking legendary and motivational, bro. Like to see that, and when I talked to you and you told me how much you were drinking, I thought you were joking.
No.
You were like, bro, I literally like pound fifths. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, that's insane.
About 2/5 a day.
Yeah.
And I'm very open about it. And this is one thing where me and guys in the program don't necessarily agree because Alcoholics Anonymous, there's a degree of anonymity. It's one of the kind of principles of the programs, but I understand that I'm a person with a bit of reach. There are people in this world that look up to me, that respect me. And in this business, there's so much addiction. Like, it's one thing to be a casual drinker, for instance. It's normal to drink alcohol. People have been making alcohol for damn near as long as we've been making fire. They find things to ferment. It creates alcohol. You drink it. It's a good time. Casual drinking is totally normal. I'm a bad drinker. I can't drink casually. If I have one, no matter where I'm at, no matter what the circumstances, I'm having 30 or 40 by the end of the night,
Right.
Because I'm physically and mentally addicted to it. So I say that to say I want to be a voice for people that might be scared to speak up and ask for help, because it is embarrassing, because addiction forces you to isolate. You feel like you're the special little snowflake. No one can understand why I'm like this, why I drink so much, when the truth is there's tens of millions of people out there that go through the same shit. So I want to be the voice to where people can reach out to me confidentially, like, I think I got a problem too. What can I do to help myself? And I'm not a counselor, but I can point you in the right direction. I want to be that voice for people that want to achieve sobriety.
When I quit drinking, I remember the biggest question people asked me, like, are you happier now? And so for yourself, how do you look at it? Like, does life better now?
Life's weird. Like the first 4 or 5 weeks, like mentally, emotionally rather, I was very agitated, very angry all the time, very, very short-tempered, snapping off at my friends and stuff. And that's tapered down quite a lot. I'm very calm now, but sobriety is a real easy thing to say, like, hey, this is great. It's the best thing ever. It's amazing. It's great. Life is great. But the truth is there's a lot behind that. It's learning to live as an adult. It's learning to, when things go wrong, I'm not just jumping to get drunk. I'm dealing with them.
Yeah.
So it's like there's good and bad. There's push and pull. There's give and take, as in everything else in life, but especially in achieving sobriety on the back of addiction. It's good and it's bad.
Yeah, I agree with that. I quit drinking, like, I think it was like 6 months ago. I quit for like 60 days.
You were one of the people that inspired me to do it.
Damn.
Yeah.
How long ago after I stopped did you stop? So it was probably
A month or two, something like that.
Yeah, because we had some talks, man.
Yeah,
I had no clue when I quit. I didn't know. I had zero clue you were going through anything. Like you literally did not. You did not show one sign of a fucking alcoholic.
No, I didn't let people see.
Yeah.
That was part of the isolation and the secrecy of it. It's like, besides Danny and one of my best friend Mills that you met from Ypsilanti, like, that have seen me and seen how I drink, see me with a fucking fifth in one hand and a beer in the other, and the beer's the fucking chaser.
When I was in Ypsilanti, I did see that.
Oh yeah, you saw me. Yeah.
Yeah, it was so funny too, because man, I hate to bring this up because it's like,
bring it out.
I think it was Mills or something. It was me. Who was it with me, you, and Chopper that one time?
Dude, I don't remember.
Okay, I think it was Mills.
I was
someone.
drunk, dog.
And I was fucking pissed because I met you and I was like psyched to meet you. And then I think it was Mills or something. And you were talking and you were just being cool, but you were like talking, and then he's like, "Shut the fuck up, you fucking drunk." And he was like dead serious when he said it to you. And I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about? The guy's having a fucking beer." But now I do remember. You had like a liquor bottle too at the same fucking time.
I'm not joking. Beer was my chaser. I would drink
I-
tequila, cognac, vodka. Like, I would drink liquor and chase it with beer.
Yeah.
That would shock some people. Like, oh man, that's crazy. And I would just make a joke out of it. Like, it just gets me there a little quicker. Ha ha ha.
I've been drinking since I was 14.
Yeah.
Right. So I was drinking. My first time drinking was my uncle gave me like a beer at like 11. And then one day, 3 years later, I found that same, like, it was a Corona. I found the same bottle. I was like, okay, I want to drink this shit. So I went into the bathroom and I just started fucking drinking beer. Like, it was just like I knew I had to do it. It wasn't
Yeah.
even like I knew I wanted to drink this beer. I was like, I know this isn't like
It was going to happen.
it was gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
fucking from ancestral behavior. Like this is part of my future.
Yeah.
So I grabbed the Corona. I start drinking into the bathroom. Then my friend buys me my first 6-pack of Newcastles. I'm fucking falling in love with craft, the taste, the buzz, everything.
You
Then
liked craft beer as a teenager?
yeah.
Wow.
I went quick. I went up quick with the quality.
That's very
Yeah,
sophisticated.
very quickly. Well, okay, wait. I'm sorry. I did think High Life by Miller High Life was a quality beer.
They say it's the champagne of beers. To me, it's marketing.
It was good as fuck, though. I remember. You know what I used to do, dude? I used to sit in the living room. I used to drink Miller with a Black and Mild and listen to Tupac and Biggie. That's
Wow.
all I used to fucking do. Repeat the same songs and just sit there, blow the smoke out the window. And then I just kept doing that for like fucking ever.
Yeah.
Then I just kept doing that forever. And then I started taking like, I remember when I realized I had problems because I had a girlfriend. And she was like, "You're a fucking drunk, you know that, right?" She was the first person to call me out and be like, you're like an alcoholic, basically. You're drinking every night. She's like, "We fight all the time." She's like, "You drink a lot when we're in public." I was like, "Yeah, whatever." But then one day I took Xanax with alcohol.
Oh, no.
That's when the biggest, dude, bro,
Did you wake up in jail?
I woke up in places where it was like, I'd pick up my phone and I'd have 100 missed calls of people cussing me out. Like, "What the fuck did you do last night? Why'd you say this?" And I was like, "Oh, shit." That's when I kind of realized that problem. So my girlfriend threatened to leave me if I didn't quit.
Yeah.
So I quit for her for like a week. Then I got back into it. But anyway, I didn't stop until 3 months ago. I quit cold turkey.
You look better, by the way, just to throw it out there.
Here's the bad news.
Oh.
So I quit cold turkey. I quit
Nick,
drinking
throw me my
alcohol.
smokes, dog.
I quit drinking alcohol cold turkey 3 months ago. And the first month was all right. The first 10 days were horrendous.
Yeah.
The first 10 days, I was like, how the fuck am I going to get through this? Once I got to the first
What
month.
was bad about it? Talk to me about that. What was bad about it?
What was bad about not drinking?
Yeah. And
I was
you were a daily
bored.
and you were a daily drinker.
I was at every night for like
Okay.
fucking 15 years basically.
So what was bad
Longer.
about it?
What the fuck? It was just boring. Like life didn't have that fucking fun to it. I was still doing fun shit. I was still kicking it with friends. I'm still doing this. I'm still doing that. Just like that. You know that fucking drunk. You know that fucking put your robe on and just grab a fucking glass, put some ice in it, fucking chilling, talking shit.
Yep.
Knowing you made a bunch of people laugh or inspired somebody and you're just like fucking with it.
Yep.
Bitch didn't pull up. Who cares? I got this glass of whiskey.
I'm feeling good.
I'm chilling. So that's how I was like, I miss that. Like, I miss like everything in my life's always fun the whole fucking day. But at night, I'm always thinking about at night when I could just chill with that glass and bump some music.
Yeah.
That's my thing, bro. So I quit 2 months ago. Everybody in my Instagram's like, "Congratulations, dude." I got to 60 days. I'm like, yeah. Some shit happened at some event with an artist from Detroit. I went home. I was like, I gotta drink. I have the fucking jitters. My anxiety's high. I gotta fucking drink. I should have just like played through it, but I didn't. So I started drinking again about 30 days ago.
Okay.
So I haven't stopped really. And I have two things. One, I don't really miss the sober life that much. It was tight. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I got a lot done. On the business end of things, I got a lot fucking done, dude.
Yeah.
Like seriously a lot done. As far as enjoying life more, nah, ain't no. The only thing I don't like is like sometimes I don't want to drink and I'll still drink. That's the only thing I don't like.
Yeah.
Other than that, bro, I love drinking, man. But
Yeah.
I quit again like 2 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a friend's party. I ate nothing all day. All I had in my system was 8 shots of Jack Daniels.
Jesus.
I went home and I literally like pissed blood basically because my body was so dehydrated that there was nothing. Like I had nothing in my body but like fucking no water, nothing.
Pure American spirits.
Yeah, and now I don't know. I still might drink again, but the whole thing is like I just can't stop, bro. And I don't think I have a problem. I just love it.
And that's the thing, like, it is a lot of conversations I have revolving around this. People are thinking that like I'm opposed to alcohol and like you can't drink around me and this, that, and the other thing. And it's not the case. Like it's normal to drink. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's completely fucking normal. I'm the abnormal one. I have a problem with it. It's not a big deal for me to be in the studio and someone's got a bottle. Now, mind you, there's some social situations that I avoid. We have a mutual friend who's an artist who had invited me to his birthday, and I pulled up to it not realizing it was at a bar. I sat there for a minute in the parking lot and my anxiety got the best of me and I couldn't go in. I'm just like, everyone's going to be drinking, having a good time. Everyone's going to want to buy me a drink. I don't want to have the conversation with a bunch of people in this situation. So I went home, called my sponsor, like, hey man, I got these feelings. I skipped this birthday party. And what he said to me was profound. He's like, bro, sometimes you got to be selfish for your sobriety. You know what I mean? But the truth is most people don't got to live that life. And I salute that. You can go out and have a fucking drink. have fun. As long as it's not fucking up your life and your body.
That's the thing. It fucks up your body, no matter what you want to say. Your body has no control over you putting shit into it. So it's like you're fucking it up on a daily basis and has no way. It tries to tell you to stop.
What you know about throbbing kidney pain every day when you wake up?
I got there. I was getting there, bro.
Feeling it in the back. That was the last like 3 years of my life. Every day I'd wake up and I'd feel my organs. And I didn't recognize what it was at first. I'm like, man, I'm sleeping weird or something. My bed's fucked up or something. Then it clicked in my brain. I'm drinking so much alcohol, it's making my organs hurt.
Yeah, literally.
Like, it's not there anymore. So it had to have been the alcohol.
Give me 2 seconds. Make sure. Back on air.
Yeah.
Back on rolling. But yeah, congratulations to you again, though, bro. At the end of the day, you did something that most people. I mean, I couldn't fucking get there. So, good shit. I look motivated to look at you for motivation to like probably stop again one day and get where you're at. But off that note, because I know at the end of the day, people heard what you have to say and they'll either make the decision or not, and they'll hear what I have to say and make the decision or not.
Yeah.
Even though my advice is, listen, at the end of the day, it's better to not drink than drink. I'll say that. It is better to
But
not
at the
drink.
same time, as a formerly active alcoholic, it's totally normal to drink.
I'm not saying don't drink at all.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just
totally
saying,
normal
like,
to drink.
basically put it this way. If you don't want to drink and you end up drinking, that's when there's a problem.
Or if you're drinking with no purpose, by yourself.
I got one for you guys.
Yeah.
It's not a party if it happens every night.
Facts.
That's very true. It's
Facts.
very true.
What's been some accomplishments so far, do you feel like, or some things that you look at notably as far as artists you've worked with or music you've created this year?
You know, it's been a lot. I mean, one of the ones that I'm most excited about, frankly, locking in with Sada Baby.
Yep.
We definitely got some stuff coming without getting into too much detail. Just because, like speaking on Sada in particular, like I look at a lot of people and like how his career's gone. A lot of people know Sada Baby from what? Whole Lot of Choppas. A lot of people know Sada Baby from his more recent stuff, but like I remember when Stacy dropped. I remember when Sticks and Stones dropped. I remember who the fuck is this guy dancing in his music videos, and this is hard as dog shit. Who is this fucking guy? 4, 5, 6 years ago, however long ago it was, like I've literally been listening to him since he's had an ounce of relevance in the scene. So to be locked in to where I can send him beats and get songs done, it's beyond money, it's beyond accolades, it's beyond anything other than the fact of I'm working with this guy whose music I really fucking like. You know what I mean? It's like it's almost like surreal. So that's something that I'm really proud of right now.
Yeah, man. I remember, I don't know if we talked about this last time, but we were chilling at the studio for Blickalodian. He was recording Blickalodian, and then I was chopping it up with him, and I was like, you know, I know Primo. You and Primo started talking. He's been flooding you with beats. He's like, yeah, hey, yeah, and he's like, I'm ready to work with Primo. He was just like, then he just looked at me like out of nowhere, he like locked in. He's like, throw on that Primo beat, and then like they just started playing your beats. Blickalodian beat came on. He fucking went in. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. That night in the studio, I know he was riffing, but for some reason, that one is the one we all started really dancing to. We really got into it. Like, yeah, this is it. This is it. This is it.
Man.
And I think that's kind of how he eyes what song to like shoot a video to. Because right after we shot it, he's like, Kiefer, grab the camera, and then we just started rolling that bitch. But then all I was thinking, like, bro, if it just took that one moment. Imagine how many more fucking beats there are by Primo.
Yeah.
And you guys can be like the next fucking Jose fucking Jose.
We could be Primo and Sada. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying like that new wave, that new wave of Sada music. Because Blickalodian to me is fucking insane. Actually,
it's like, a great record.
Yeah.
And some of the stuff some of the ones that I have. Like, I'm just going to say we got a lot to look forward to.
Anybody
else?
Are you working with Vezo? Like, what's been going on?
I saw Vezo at his movie premiere a couple weeks back. I've been sending him some beats here and there, but like outside of Sada, I've really been like hanging back, like getting used to being sober and my workflow and all that. I've really just been refocusing on just being a producer. That's why I stopped the producer camps. I stopped paid collabs. I stopped producer sessions. I'm not working with other producers whatsoever right now. I'm just focused on me. That selfish, get back to that hungry motherfucker I was when no one knew who I was and I didn't have money and I didn't have accolades. I put myself mentally right back there.
Yeah.
I'm the hungriest. I'm going to outwork every fucking person in this market and on the planet. That's what I've been focused on, less so than the artist. If I'm being totally honest, like Sada's like the only big artist that I really send out to over the course of the last couple months.
You know, Eminem kind of made like an interesting statement. That's kind of like on a lot of headlines. Eminem basically said like his whole goal right now is to just be the best rapper in the world, like the best lyricist. Like you might be making music that people are fucking with more, but as far as lyricism goes, I'm going to be the best. And I was kind of sitting back thinking about it, like, what does it matter if you're the best? I get it if we're playing basketball, if we're playing a sport, if we're doing something like that. But when it comes to music, I don't think it's about being the best lyricist or the best anything. I think it's about just making great music, right?
But we say that from a common folks perspective. This is a guy who is one of the only artists who has diamond records. He's the highest selling hip hop artist of all time.
Yeah.
He's world famous. Like, this guy has everything. So yeah, I can see him dumbing it down to where I'm gonna be the lyrical spiritual miracle. You know what I'm saying? That everybody needs in this world, because he's already got all the money in the world, all the accolades in the world. Like, what else does this guy fucking need at this point? So he's probably just refocused on, I'm just gonna shred everybody.
Yeah, maybe he knows, like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to make music that resonates like it used to. So I'm just going to be the best at a certain aspect of the game now.
Yeah.
Like, I'll kill you in any rap song. I'll kill you in any battle.
Yeah.
If it comes to rhyming words, you're not going to beat me.
But Eminem was better when he was on drugs. I'm not going to even come close to lying to you. Like,
facts.
like
Well, when
Eminem's
he was
music,
broke.
he was way better when he was on drugs.
Yeah.
Way. He was mad, but he was more creative. Like, the new stuff, horse corpse, 4 boards, 4 horse. Like, dude, I'm sick of it. Like, stop. No one's asking for that.
But the thing is, he was also going through a lot too. Like, he had the baby mama drama.
Yup.
He had record labels not fucking with him. He had the society not.
He had beef with his own mom.
Yeah, he did.
Addiction to deal with.
It was really weird hearing him say like lyrics like he was like basically talking about fucking his own mom and shit like that. That was something where I was like, I can't even. I don't care what type of time we're on. I'm not talking about fucking my mom on the fucking radio, bro. Like, I don't know how he was doing.
They
that
say
shit.
white people don't have culture, and yet here it is.
It's fucking hysterical. That's the statement of the year about him. Anyway, what else has been on your mind? What's been going on, bro? Like, just as far as just in general, man.
Just refocusing on just being the best me that I can be, just being a good human being, a good producer,
Yeah.
and just learn how to live my life the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, starting from scratch, kind of, right?
Yeah.
Because every time something comes up that you have to come into any dilemma or anything that comes into your life that you're actually supposed to face, and then you end up drinking instead, it's like you never really face it. And, I think like Joe Rogan was talking about it. You know how people smoke weed and they get anxiety?
Yeah.
He was saying it's good that you get anxiety. He's like, the reason you get anxiety is because you know you're not facing certain shit. And marijuana opens up these kind of outlets to help you face those things, and people still avoid it. So that's where the anxiety comes in. That's where like the tension in your body comes in. With alcohol, it's not like that. With alcohol, it's like you drink and it's like, oh, we're straight. Fucking everything else. We're Gucci. Like, you don't even think about all your problems unless you're really going through some serious shit.
Yeah.
When I drink, like, it's like, all right, fuck it, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck what happened today. I'm over it.
When I drink, I'm getting my dick sucked, and I've made a lot of bad decisions, and I've had a lot of Ugbot 6000 Suckmasters over my house.
Suckmasters.
Bro, it'd be 1 a.m. This bitch matched me on Tinder. What's good? You like sucking dick? Like, literally. Like, this is how I'm interacting, and I'm pulling them. And then waking up the next day, like, oh, like,
I've
who
had
are you?
I have a lot of guys who like guys in my DMs lately,
Whoa.
and I'm just like, what makes you think that's like that to message me? Like, do I come off as a type that is likes to do things like this? I'm not a part of this thing that you guys like to do. I don't get, and it's like clear as day. Like, I'm not responding to your. If a girl says the same thing you're saying, like, come suck my nipples, I'm going to suck her nipples, right?
Yes.
But a guy's doing it and I'm not responding. Clearly, I'm not interested.
No, you're getting blocked, my boy.
I don't want to block because then I'm like, what does that mean? That means I'm basically, putting down a type of.
No. That's absurd. That's absurd. And I've had it happen to me several times where people would DM me, and this is a big reason I don't open up my DMs a lot, if I'm being honest. But I had a guy ask me, like, he was asking about beats. How much are beats? So I'm like, cool. Beats are X amount of dollars. I go about my day, and then the conversation steers to, hey, you're really pretty. Do you like guys? Block. That's not me being homophobic. That's not me hating on the LGBTQRSTUV community. That's me saying I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I like bitches. That doesn't mean that me turning down a gay person makes me homophobic. That just means I want no interaction with you whatsoever, because apparently you want to fuck me.
Yeah, man.
And I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
Apparently neither are you.
This has been a fun talk, bro.
Yeah, good times.
This is a good.
And
time.
I will say, like, I hope your next guest adopts this posture. I feel good.
I wish there wasn't a next guest. Wish
Wow.
me and Primo could just keep fucking riffing.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just how life goes, man.
It is.
You should just come by more often, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You should just come by like once a month and just kick it.
Just give me a key. I'll just pop in when Phil doesn't have sessions.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Listen, man, as much as I want to keep this conversation going, is there anything you want to talk about before we close out?
It's Primo Beats, you little bitch.
Anything you want to promote?
If you need help seek it. If you don't, live your life.
Who do white people's titties want to suck?
Who do white people's titties want to? What even is that sentence? What'd
It
you just
means
say?
like who does women's who white people? Well, I'm into cash though. Like when you're Polish or whatever.
What?
Who's your guys' like celebrity person?
Oh, Topanga from Boy Meets World.
That's mine too. Originally, when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I
still,
she's
yeah.
still hot. Or Fishburne,
I know. She's
or
slamming.
yeah, she's fucking.
I'm not pulling out.
Whoo.
Honestly, I like early Mandy Moore.
Mandy Moore's hot.
I'd fuck Britney Spears.
Not anymore.
No,
bro.
she got the crazy factor, and crazy bitches, they're insane in the bedroom. The crazier the woman, the crazier shit they do when you're fucking. I got a pedigree in white bitches. Trust me.
No, I feel you on that. That is facts for sure.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bro, she looks like she's got something. She's got something. No, she's got
She's
like
got something. She's got a lack of this dick.
Yeah.
A lot of money too.
Yeah.
Listen, all right, man. Shit. Well, fucking Primo, you got to come by more often, man. We're at Parallel Sound Studio, High Low Visuals, Shootings Productions. I got to go pee. We're out. Peace.